Hello, Britain's Finest fans. Just a quick reminder before we begin. Britain's Finest is a family show on stage. However, our podcast is rather explicit. Listeners' discretion is advised. Thank you for listening, and enjoy.
There is a place where I can go when I feel low.
The thing is pinching.
That happens.
Some kid, I don't remember what kid I was talking to on Instagram, but he was like, I just listened to you guys' podcast because I've had all this downtime. He's like, they're so good. He's like, is there any plans in the future to do more? And I was like, I don't honestly know, man. And then literally that same day, you guys started talking about it. I think it was Ruben that brought it up. And I was like, dude, let's fucking get down. So there's a person that wants to listen. That's good enough for me.
How about that? Just one guy.
Have you seen
this is for you, Mr.
It only
Anonymous.
takes one, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, when we play the bar gigs, when we used to play the bar gigs, you more
Yeah.
than us recently, but and it's that one guy that gives you that $100 tip. That $200
Exactly.
It's just
Yeah.
that one guy that makes up for all the fucking,
Yeah.
all those fucking, cheapskates.
That's true. There's a lot of cheapskates out there.
I had a guy one time at
Wait,
the
are
old ship.
we recording yet, or are we just rambling?
Maybe we're just rambling, I think.
Okay.
I had a guy at the
Well, I mean, we got to know where we're going to start.
all right, well, I'll warn
Are
you.
we starting now?
Yeah. We're starting.
Okay, so we're doing the intro, blah, blah, blah. Or are we going to do something else?
You just did it. That sounded great, man. Fucking thank you. Thank you, Robert. Wonderful. You fucking asshole. Just kidding.
All right,
So,
well, seriously,
how-
we're back.
Fuck you.
How cussy do we want to get?
Well, I don't want to.
Real
Well,
cussy.
Real
we
cussy.
All right, well,
Within reason, I mean.
I guess we should start then. Hey, I guess we're back.
We're
it's
back,
like
baby.
Futurama. 1 minute we got canceled. Now we're back.
Isn't like what's that show? The Father, what is it? Father, the one you love, the show that you
Family
love.
Guy.
American
Family Guy. That's
Family
it.
Guy.
Father.
That one got canceled too, right?
It
got canceled
three
twice.
times. Oh no, twice, right?
Twice, yeah.
Okay, sorry.
All right, so we got one more cancellation,
I
and
called.
then we'll be back.
And then we'll
Yeah.
go into syndication.
I called and complained, and I got it canceled twice. Fucking worked.
Thanks, man.
We
kidding,
can
wasn't it?
cancel ourselves.
It was
really.
other people.
I'm always scared that I'm gonna get canceled. Like somebody's gonna remember what I did 15 years ago, and you know,
You're gonna get canceled.
You're gonna
Yeah.
get youth read.
when I beat Benny's ex-wife.
Getting canceled is terrible, man, because you gotta get your hair falls out. You have to,
Well, it's good to be back. It's good to be back. You know, we want to thank
cancer. Oh, is that what you guys are talking
Oh,
about?
my-
Sorry.
Oh,
Oh,
and so
Wow,
it begins.
that took a little while for
So
me.
it begins. Well, it's good to be back. Yeah, I don't remember the last
got-
time we did a podcast.
This is chaotic.
Did you
There's
get
like
cervical
pops
cancer?
Jesus.
Wow. Okay.
Cervical canceled.
So this is
That's
where
great, guys.
Testicular canceled.
Ovarian cancer.
That's how I want to start this podcast off. Right there. Start where I say testicular canceled, and just go.
Go with it.
I think that's the right thing to do. Well,
I mean, is it like the super sensitive times that were discussed, or people discussed about sensitive millennials, talked about them a lot in recent years. But is that time over? Is their time over?
Oh,
Like, do we not care anymore?
I think it's a new time now. At
Like-
this point,
I don't know.
how much can you offend somebody that's going to stay in the house and not go anywhere? I mean, you're pretty much trapped. Everybody keeps saying that. Since we got to address the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Everybody keeps saying like, oh, when things go back to normal, things are not going back to normal. People said the same thing after 9/11. Oh, right now the TSA going to do this and do that, but everything's going to go back to normal. Has it gone back to normal?
that's how it was, huh? I was barely even aware of
Oh, that's
travel
true.
in those days.
There used to be
yeah.
a time. Let me look.
Yeah, remember on Friends when they used to always do the airport scene and they hugged each other and they would meet people at the gate?
Well, Benny told me a story about how
Yeah.
he would travel and bring his guitar on, and he would let it sit next. They would let him bring his guitar in out of its case and let it sit next to him.
Flew all the way to Japan like that, man, and back with
That's a 16-hour flight, maybe, right, or something like that.
I can't remember. It was long, but it was like I had a guitar and I'm playing it, like sitting in my seat, and the worst thing that happened is people were like, "Hey, man, can you play this?" The stewardess is asking for songs and crap like that, but it
And
was
now look
great.
at it.
As
You
soon
get-
as I came back from that, literally, like right when I came back, September 11th goes down. I landed at home. I think I spent 2 nights trying to like recuperate from
The time change.
from the time change. Yeah, and boom, I woke up and I heard everybody in the house talking. And like, oh my God, all the TV's going and all kinds of smoke coming out of the buildings. And I was like, the Libyans.
For people that didn't get to that, that's a Back to the Future reference.
Great, Scott. So, my opinion on the matter is I think that every group exists, the offended people, but I mean, they're now in a category of, well, those are the people that are going to be offended.
What, the
be
Libyans?
aware. The Libyan rules.
I don't even think
I think it's mostly the Labians that are being offended here. I mean, I don't know.
You offended my Labians.
Ruben is.
Look, the way I see it now, it doesn't matter what you do, you're going to offend somebody. Trying not to do something is going to offend somebody. It's like, okay, we're going to try not to offend somebody. Oh, I'm offended because you're not trying to offend me. It's ridiculous. It's
Hey, man, who cares if you offend them right now? They're stuck in their house. They can never catch you.
Exactly. I mean, I think now with
Just,
the whole
or if they come after you, just cough.
right in their face.
I just do that all day anyway.
That's
You'll
true.
be shamed on the
Wherever I
internet.
go.
Hung
It's
out
like,
to
hey,
dry.
So I
I'll
don't
get
know.
canceled,
You get
and all my hair will fall out.
I don't know. I mean, I've listened to some of the old podcasts, and fuck, man, I cringe sometimes. Like, man, I can't believe I said that,
Yeah.
and I can't believe or we've said some stuff that just wow,
Yeah,
and
but
like
it was a
it's
different
super
time.
offensive.
Is it?
But
And-
listen, man, on that note, not to cut you off, but I mean, I was just thinking
I'm
about like,
offended.
the the Beastie Boys. I was just watching their documentary, and then I see like Ad Rock is up there apologizing. He apologized for the lyrics to the song "Girls," and I think anybody who knows that there were these young punk kids just kind of, and it was kind of funny, and it's meant to be funny. And I think it was taken that way, and I think them apologizing for it, sort of almost gave it this extra power for being bad. And I never looked at it that way. I just thought everybody knew it was kind of funny. It's just kind of ridiculous, you know. They're not really those kind of douchebags.
I think what happens after a while is that you do
And
this
you aren't.
as a persona, to fuck around, and you're like, oh, we're screwing around.
Yeah.
But then people start believing that's who you are.
Right.
Perfect example. We did a live stream the other night, and good segue. And and we were just having fun. We're no costumes. We're just kind of doing our thing, which is a new thing that we're going to be doing. And people were, not people, maybe a couple people just started making these random comments about how
one guy.
we were one guy. All right, and this one guy just comes out of nowhere and starts, being drunk doesn't become you, and it's like, what are you talking about? We're not even drunk. It's like you don't want to know.
I was pretty hungover, so I was.
But hungover. But I'm saying, like,
I can see how he would think we're drunk, and it's just funny. It's like, the point is like we're just, this is our day off. It would be weird for me it would be the same as me going to his house on his day off, or calling his house on his day off and being like, hey man, you're not cleaning the toilets as good as you usually do when you're at work, so you should probably
step it up.
I think.
I guess.
I was telling Trish and Berlin the story of like that dude, kind of, tripping on us, and I think I said something along the lines like, I think Benny said like Sal said. Sal commented like, "Oh, that's just the way they are,
Yeah.
And like Trish and Brennan, like, yeah, you guys are idiots. You guys are just dumb guys. Like, just
Yeah. All right.
like we are all naturally just always, I think something I say is like, dude, we have reached a level of offending each other that's not even offensive to us anymore. It's just
Yeah.
like, we have gone so far and beyond. At least I have.
I
That's for
know.
sure. I go way beyond my Call of Duty and try to say the most offensive thing, and I'm so used to it. We're so used to it
Yeah.
together, but other people, I think they're like, what's wrong with these guys?
Yeah.
Like we're
Yeah.
content being
We're-
ridiculous.
well,
I
we're
don't
like-
know how to be any other way.
Yeah, it's like a family thing. I mean, a band is like guys who have assumed some kind of interdependence with each other, and we've been through a lot of shit together. And I mean, to really crack the most offensive joke at each other is a sign of great affection.
It is. It is that. I think we have such a hardened callous from the terrible things we say
Yeah.
that we need to be super offensive just to have it kind of penetrate that thick skin. Just like, ooh, oh yeah, that's the one. That's disgusting.
Well, that's
Love
the
it.
thing too. Is like the guy criticized me actually for not having thick skin, for taking offense to his comment, and then it's like, he's right, and I admitted, yeah, I don't have very thick skin. But to be honest, like, you don't know what you're talking about, man. Have you ever gone and been ridiculous in front of people, like tried to perform anything? If you ever try to perform anything in front of anybody, it's so personal, it's so weird. Like, you're up there looking like an idiot and feeling like an idiot, and there's nothing you can do about it but to just sort of laugh it off. And that's how your skin gets thick, is because people keep shitting on you over and over your whole life, you know? Like, every time I've ever played I'll read some comment somewhere like, oh yeah, how come every time somebody doesn't have talent, they got to jump around all over the stage, you know, to make up for it? And I'm like, oh,
That's
man.
true though.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
that
that's
person
true.
had
Tell me, Benny, why?
Yeah, Benny. Let's cover that as a topic.
That'll be the next
why do you jump around so much?
To make up for the fact that
see,
I
the thing
can't
is,
play.
have you noticed it's always the people
It's
that
not
aren't musicians, right? Or are afraid to public speak or to be on stage or to be in front of people are the ones always making the comment. And their safety of their computer or their phone. Oh, I'm going to say this because blah, blah, blah. But imagine being in the real world. You know those bastards would not say anything in front of anybody. They'd be the guy sitting in the corner, twiddling their thumbs.
in their head hating
Yeah,
me.
exactly.
Hating
So-
me in their mind.
I feel like
Hate
it's
that guy.
worse somehow, but I don't know. Doesn't matter. That's just ego getting in the way.
Your
I-
freaking shirt is offending me right now. dude.
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus.
Cut it out.
That's
Asshole.
I'm glad you brought that up, because when I came down to the lobby at one of our gigs, he just gave me this look of hatred. He wanted to tear this shirt off of my body. And we ended up going to all these bars,
Yeah?
and everybody was like,
Wait a second.
Yeah,
Wait a second. Is this a
and burn it. He didn't want
Oh,
to do it
okay.
for sexual.
Oh, oh,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
It
I
wasn't.
see. Yeah,
It wasn't
yeah.
sexual,
Okay.
as per usual. But we go to these hipstery bars, and everybody, girls and the bartender's like, "Whoa, I really like that shirt." And Louis just like, "What the what?"
Oh,
Like,
you're
just
talking
like-
about me?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was some other dude. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, because so that means we were
I
ripping
don't-
on Louis.
When was that?
It was El Paso,
Louis wanted
and
to
we were
rip his
going.
shirt
We were
off.
going to all these
I
cool
knew it.
bars.
Oh,
Jessica was
yeah,
driving
that's
us
right.
around.
I have seen that shirt before.
Yeah.
Oh, so I forgot that I saw it,
Yeah.
and I still hated it today. See?
And you're
Oh,
offended again.
Yeah, I'm offended again.
It's the
Re-offense.
carpet from The Shining. See,
Oh, that's what it was,
I
yeah.
brought it because everybody in the band walks.
Yeah,
all over
people
me.
did love that
That
shirt.
is what it is. Huh? It looks
Yeah.
like that.
People love that shirt, and
the shinning?
it was good. Yeah,
You want to get sued?
Hey, yeah, the shinning.
it's the shinning. The
I don't want to harp on
carpet.
kids.
That's right.
Yeah, they're shinning.
All right, next topic. So that guy talking shit about us,
Look at how much we're talking about him. We're giving him so much
Yeah.
space.
We were
in the
doing this
world.
even originally in the other. We were just focusing too much on the hate,
Yeah, I don't.
and not just doing our thing.
I honestly, me and that guy, we went back and forth, and in the end, we both just like, like somebody was sticking up for me, and I wrote like, "Don't hate on him too much. I kind of like this dude, And he wrote back, "I kind of like you guys too." Boom, dude. The problem was solved. Everybody loves each other, and I'm all right
Peace.
with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to read that thread now.
It's
I
pretty
haven't
fucking
even-
hilarious.
Sorry if I'm
haven't
making
checked it.
squeaky noises over here.
Yeah, I'm sure you're sorry. You look real sorry with your fucking
So-
shirt.
Okay, so let's
passed me
discuss
up. You passed
discuss
me-
what we've been doing these last month or so since the whole COVID pandemic
Nothing.
has started. So we have been doing nothing really. Everything's been stopped. Everything's been at a standstill. We're right now. I think people are, not just us, but just bands in general are just kind of trying to figure out what they're gonna do to keep performing. Because as of right now, I don't think any venue. I mean, think about it. Think of it this way. And this is what I was thinking today. Even if they open up a club, I mean, yeah, we're going to be on stage, but people can't be 6 feet, can't be any closer than 6 feet apart. I mean, so how are you going to watch a concert? How are you going to control that? How is that even possible? So the idea, I mean, I think the new thing now is like I've said before, we start streaming shows. I mean, that's what we're going to be doing.
Yeah.
That's like the way of the future, I think. I mean, because maybe eventually in a couple years, but everybody keeps saying like, oh, in a couple months, everything will be back to normal. It's not going to be normal, because even with normal and they do open stuff up, you can't be close to somebody.
Yeah. Well, they're thinking. I mean, dude, I've been avoiding the news like the plague.
Me too.
And but but what I've been seeing, and like the news updates from Apple, on my iPhone, today a headline came out saying that they might find or they might get the inoculation, or the what do you call it?
They're gonna
Like a vaccine.
The vaccine, early next year sometime.
So they're gonna expedite it or something, or they're just doing.
Oh, I'm sure they're expediting it now, but it just takes time to develop this thing. So they're thinking early next year. So I think a year will come and go very fast. I think by this time next year, I think it'll be kind of
Yeah.
business as usual, as long as we have that vaccine kind of
But what
flowing
about
through people's veins. Autism?
what do we do? What do we do about that year from now? Financially for the band. See, that's the question. Especially for guys that do this for a living.
I'm sure there's strategies.
Dude,
to,
Hey, listen.
my homie posted. He owns his own plumbing company, and he posted, a plumbing apprentice needed $18 to $22 an hour to start. So I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna be a friggin' plumber,
Dude, that's a good
like,
trade to have. I mean, especially if we're not doing anything.
I don't think I'm really gonna do it, but I'm just saying that's probably what's
you
gonna
do
happen.
it,
is
I'm
we're
doing
gonna
it.
have to get day jobs. Dude.
You don't want to lay pipe, bro.
Me?
But now you'll be laying pipe professionally.
Why don't you lay the pipe? Hey,
Hello,
you,
miss.
thank
I
you,
hear
thank you.
your pipes are a little clogged.
miss.
you mean Mister?
The apprentice don't start with the misses. They why would they start?
Is your mother home? Wait, you know what? In fact, I think you can help me.
Wait, you're the apprentice? My dog's clogged up. My dog hasn't crapped for a week. Can you fix this?
I'll get him moving. No, but I think you already got a day job, Robert. You got a day job before this shit went down.
We
Robert gave up all his gigs for next year, gave them to a good friend of ours out of Vegas, and Robert wanted to be home with the wifey,
That's
and
true.
he got a day job, and so he's good. Me and Benny, I think Ruben got a job too, but me and Benny, we're like, I am so scared to get a day job. I am terrified. I don't know what to do.
Which is funny because look, let's back up a year ago. Louis and I were sitting at the bar on NCL Bliss, and we were talking about the band. He's like, "Dude, how long do you think this is going to work out? I mean, what are we going to be doing? What do you know? What we should get day jobs. We should just get day jobs and move on." And I was like, "I don't know, man. I think we've been doing pretty well." No, think about it. How much money have you really made doing this? We got to get day jobs. I get home, call my boss. I'm like, "Hey, man, I'm ready to get my job back." And my boss is like, "Okay,
cool."
And then I tell Louis, I'm like, "Yeah, man, I got a day job. I took your advice." I don't remember telling you that. And I was like, "What the hell?" We had like an hour discussion at the bar, and then I thought, "Oh, we were at the bar.
Yeah,
he was drunk. He doesn't remember this."
Okay.
Well, I was thinking because
Yeah.
NCL was.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
It was
laser
different
point
than
it.
what we're used to with Royal,
No, I
and
know.
I was just
That's
thinking,
true.
man, like we would probably. I was making more money at my day job doing the side gigs, at the concert at the parks, and there were some years that were really good years
know.
of doing
No,
that.
You're right.
And then NCL wanted us for an extended time, and the money that we were getting paid still wasn't what equated.
Having a
that
day
was
job
my thought
and-
process.
No,
was
it's true.
Instead
And
of moving forward, we're kind of moving backwards. And but we had to because Royal Caribbean wasn't hiring us very often anymore. Because we had
some issues.
some issues with them.
We had too
But
many
We
good
had
times.
too many good times.
And we
But
had to pay
that-
for
too many
those.
issues.
But that was that was my logic in there. But yeah, so you got a day job. Ruben, he started losing gigs a year and a half ago because of whatever. And
because of
yeah. So you already had a day job lined up for you.
No.
s-
I coasted through the year getting what work I could from you guys because, and then we started to get the NCL stuff, which was later in the year when I started losing work. So, yeah, there was a dry spell, but I still kept loyal to the band. So the recent day job I got was Guitar Center. And
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I did one day of training. They paid me for
fired.
that day. No. No, a week later, they sent the stay-at-home orders happened, and they're like, "All right, well, there's no work for you, but we're going to be paying you." And
so you kind of worked in your favor.
So they paid you for how long?
They still are.
Oh my God! Are you
Yeah,
kidding me?
and I have
Jesus.
I have benefits with the company too available to me. So it's like,
And they all of a sudden a lot of gear started disappearing. And they're like, "What's going on here?" See,
Yeah.
you hire Hispanic.
He came up on a
stealing your
beautiful
stuff.
red Focusrite somehow.
purchased by Sweetwater, one of
No.
our affiliates.
But what are we gonna do for the next year or so? I mean, hopefully it's only a year. I think as I kind of talk to people, they're like, "What? You made a living playing music?" Like they didn't know, like they thought I had a day job or whatever, And so but it's been 5 years for me without a day job, which is crazy.
It
It's
is.
crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just got my taxes from Raul for 2019.
Oh, you finally got all-
Damn, dude, I made a lot of money last year, dude. It was
Not
great,
bad.
Oh no, bad
Um,
news.
Yeah, it was bad news.
It's good
yeah,
news
yeah.
for,
It ended up,
so
that we
weird.
made decent money.
ended up
Bad
owing
news.
a lot of effing money. Good luck, Benny.
It's over.
Yeah.
I might as well
never
just kill myself.
Never
now,
had a
man.
day job before
Um,
Guitar Center.
But yeah, I think, I don't know, man. I never went to college. I am an uneducated Mexican from East LA. I have to get a job at a factory. Factories are gone now. I have to get a job at a warehouse.
You're gonna have to
man.
go to China.
You know? How about if they'll have me? That's Kanye West, or actually that's
If they'll have
a
me.
poet. But, anyway.
Yeah.
No. So I don't know, Benny. What your live stuff is generating some money for you.
Yeah, going live, which it's like, I mean, it's definitely by the grace of friends who are doing better than me, and they're digging on what I'm doing. Thankfully, they like the song choice I throw out there, and let me get away with murder and tip me really well, and managed to literally like fully pay my rent last month, and that was cool. That was like not something I saw coming, and that kicks ass, man. I couldn't believe it. I was like, I thought to myself, like, okay, we got, like Artie's online. Every single person that I know of that plays music is doing that and doing it better than I do it. So I was like, what am I going to offer? I'm going to go on there and just play my acoustic guitar and my piano and sing songs. And while I'm watching people that can really kick ass. And I thought, there's nobody going to watch that. And I went live, and then there was like, I don't know, 40 people or something like that, 40, 50 people watching me live. And then I had a Venmo sign or whatever, and then I just saw my phone was just going ding, 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 just ringing with tips from everywhere. And I was like, hell yeah. I thought like, okay, that's cool for one time. And then I did it again, and I made even more money the second time, which I was like, holy crap.
How many times have you done it now?
Four times, and every time it's better,
Mhm.
so it's tripping me out. I don't know how I'm getting away with it, but so far, hopefully I do it every 2 weeks, basically, too. I was actually supposed to do it today, but I'm going to push it to tomorrow because I don't really have a schedule, which is cool. I really...
It's like the ultimate job.
Yeah,
for,
I'm the laziest person that anybody's ever met. So,
That's
like,
true.
this whole thing happening is, like, magic to me. I'm like, I've been in my robe and slippers all throughout those winter months, and then, like, I'm just sitting there being a bum, watching all the shows I ever wanted to see, reading. I read a whole book. I've been reading the Bible just for the hell of it.
Whoa! You read?
Yeah.
You actually can read.
That's
I
the
thought you were
only thing I got
illegitimate.
out of the third grade
Illegitimate?
education I have.
Weren't you illegitimate? I,
can
thought he
read,
was illegitimate.
mofo.
Illiterate?
Oh yeah. No, illiterate's when you don't know who your parents are.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
I'm illiterate. I don't know who my parents are, man.
So that
No,
brings
but-
us to the next point.
well-
So- right?
Well,
About how we can't read. I'm kidding. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna start doing. So we're now announcing that we're gonna start doing a bi-weekly Britain's Finest from the Garage.
dude, why is everything gotta be
Show.
sexual with you, dude? It's just,
Yeah.
Bi-weekly.
You're weird.
What? You don't like being bi-weekly?
You're going to get canceled, dude.
It's better than trifesting.
I mean, Ruben's buy more than weekly, you know?
And here he goes. Look, feel free to rag on Louis as much as you want, dude.
Hey, man, I'm a swinger, baby.
You're
I'm
swinging.
open with my
The only thing
sexuality.
the only thing swinging is my balls in your face. So yeah,
Britain's
so we're
finest balls.
We're gonna start doing a show, a bi-weekly show called Britain's Finest in the Garage, and it's gonna be called Let Them Be Naked, which was kind of what we used to do at the old ship where we don't wear costumes. We're just kind of us doing Beatles songs and just having some fun.
Yeah.
So, just to get people to, get together, listen to some Beatles, because what's the point of getting dressed at this point? I mean, they know we're obviously in somebody's, in our in the BF garage. What would be the point wearing costumes?
But furthermore, how the hell are we gonna fit back in those costumes after this? I weigh about 60 pounds more than when I started this career.
What's funny is that a while back, I forgot, somebody had posted something like on Instagram, like, can't wait to get back into playing. And I wrote as a comment, I was like, I wonder how many Beatle guys are going to be able to fit in their suits after all this is over. Because how many people are like sitting around just gaining weight? I mean, I put on my Beatle pants the other day and they're a little tight. I mean,
I saw Jimmy Poe. He's skinny as hell. Well, I just saw him on there. I was like, dude.
Well,
he's gonna be
that's
fine.
always been Jimmy since like the 70s.
I know, he's a skinny dude. And then I was a skinny dude. Robert's a skinny dude.
Yeah.
We're all fatzos. Fatzos, I said.
Before this thing went down, dude, I started because you know what's funny is right before this thing went down, we had taken like 3 months off. Pretty much. Well, we took a year off, really. We sent a B-cast on NCL.
Oh, that was beautiful. That was a magical time.
Instead of usually the cruises start in January, but for some reason they started in April for us, or March. So we had a few months off, and we were getting all these contracts from Royal Caribbean. I'm like, guys, this is gonna be a great year.
It's coming back.
It's gonna be a great year. Finally, man, we're back in it. We're gonna make a lot of money this year. Wow. And then, but in preparation, I was like hitting the gym 3 times a week. Going to they had their tanning booths at Planet Fitness. I'm going to the tanning booth. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna be.
You like fitness?
I'm be looking good, dude. I'm gonna be looking good on these cruises. I was so stoked. Yeah. And then when they started kind of coming down, and we got the order to stay in or whatever, I was like, hey guys, at least we'll be super skinny because I didn't eat for like 2 weeks, dude. 2 weeks when this first went down, dude. I was like, I couldn't even choke down, a piece of toast. So I got freaking skinny, dude. I was like,
out of just sheer nervousness,
just anxiety and nervousness. Like,
man,
what the fuck? What's going on?
Wow,
like, this shit's for real.
Yeah.
And because I was in denial for a long time, like this
I'm
ain't
in
real.
denial still.
Yeah. I mean, I still am.
I've been floating down the river called denial for a while.
Benny's been reading the Bible, so he knows about the floating down the river and floating around denial.
Yeah. Oh yes. Ask me anything.
Isn't that
before
Moses
this
or something? Anyway,
No.
but no.
Oh, yeah.
So I started losing weight, and I was thinking. I even text you guys like, at least we'll after this is the apocalypse. It's the end of the world. At least we'll be skinny.
Yeah.
And fit in our suits. But it's gone the opposite, man. I've been eating a cup of noodles every day and just fucking getting fat.
Dude, I went to Carl's Jr. today, and I got one of those Beyond sausages. It was beyond sausage. It went beyond my ass.
It was John Holmes
Came out of my
sausage?
mouth.
It was a kielbasa.
Hear that, folks? That's what happened. Don't go to Carl's Jr. unless you want that to happen to you.
By the way, I got to read a sponsorship.
Okay, Ruben,
part.
go.
Oh yeah, we got a sponsor.
Yeah. What was that?
I don't know. It was like random shit.
John Fister's not here, so we need Robert's filling in.
Yeah, he wouldn't really say much. He would be like,
I was just thinking about that. Remember how we used to sing the blues to each other when everything was going wrong? Dude, my plane came in late. I was like half an hour late. I was running with all my equipment.
I was framed.
I was framed.
And then it became the dance, remember?
I think me and Marissa,
the twist.
Me and Marissa were watching something, and that shit came out. That song came out. I was framed.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's where Robert got it from.
It's from La Bamba.
Oh, La Bamba. We're watching La Bamba.
I take it from Up in Smoke, man.
minding
When
my
they're-
own
Oh,
affairs.
it was Up in Smoke.
I
It
was framed, man. Yeah, minding my own affairs.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was.
Like, caught me unawares. That movie is the best.
All right, man. Jesus.
Yeah, that's what it was.
So who was our sponsor? Corona?
Yeah, so every time somebody complained about anything, because like we lead a pretty cool life, or we led a pretty cool life.
Yeah.
Hey, I still live
Like,
a pretty cool
we
life.
get to travel the world,
I still
make
get to-
money, not have to go to day jobs. And And then, but you get so jaded, and you're like, yeah, you pick on the little details, and then when somebody would start complaining, you would do the yeah, that was
or whichever way it was,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
remember. But it was great. It would really diffuse any anger. Like
Yeah.
you're pissed off. I'd be really fucking pissed talking about some, like I had to fly all the way from Germany that one time to land all the way in Mexico and do 2 gigs back to back. And I'm like, nobody told me there was gonna be 2 fucking gigs back to back. This is bullshit.
And now
I
you don't
start
have a
laughing.
job, you piece of shit.
Yeah. Now look at me.
Yeah, that kind of
Okay.
rhymed.
That's right.
Yeah. I've been framed.
Nobody told me I was gonna do this, and now you don't got a job, you piece of shit.
All right, next topic.
That hurt though, man. I'll just on that topic for one more second. I landed in Mexico. We did 2. They surprised us and said that we had to do a matinee and then an evening show. It was supposed to be just one show is all I knew about. So we did 2 shows that day, and then they're like, and then tomorrow we're gonna go to Obregon and you're gonna play this arena. And so by the time I got there with no sleep on a 14-hour flight, I had no voice. I had to sing Blackbird like that. I was like, that man singing in the dead all night.
Was that the night I got?
Ben Hamon.
Oh yeah, that was the
did I-
tour, huh?
Ben Hamon.
I'm on.
Was that when I got food poisoning?
I think it was a different time.
Oh, okay.
I don't think that was the tour time.
Hmm.
But maybe.
Nothing like some food poisoning.
Yeah,
in
maybe it
Mexico.
was. Did we do Obregon and then go down to Nogales? Is that how we did it?
Up to Nogales.
I don't even remember.
Up to Nogales.
I
That's
was
right.
I was
Up.
puking a lot, so I don't even remember. I was laying in the back
If
of a
it was
van.
the one where Robert got sick, that was the one. But you seemed pretty rested, though.
That was so awesome. I shared a room with Robert for that particular time.
We ate some street tacos.
Oh, they were good, though.
I mean,
man.
they literally were made of street. There was gravel in my taco.
The street and flies.
You know what? Did you notice that there was no stray dogs in the area?
Just cats.
Just cats. They don't eat cats in Mexico. But no, I mean, I
See,
got
love,
really sick.
I love making that joke as a Mexican. Making that joke as about
as a racist
Mexico,
Mexican guy.
about Mexico. But it'd be really racist if I said it about like an Asian culture or something like that.
Oh, yeah,
You
I
know,
can't say
like,
that shit.
yeah, can't
Well, too late. You said it. It's,
Oh,
it's
Jesus.
going out there.
You mentioned
Everybody heard
it.
you.
It was on your mind. That means you're a terrible person.
That's like saying the N word. You know what I meant, but now it's coming out of your brain.
Yeah.
So who's racist, me or you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job.
That's a Louis C.K. thing. Sorry, I can't. I can't take credit for that.
Sorry, man.
One of the.
Hey, by the way, did you see the new Louis C.K. Sincerely stand up?
Is it new? Is it really new?
It just came out.
I haven't.
I had it downloaded.
You downloaded a file?
Let's
Like,
watch it.
Just
so
to
he
write-
it's on my
performed
phone.
into an audience of more than 100 people at
Yeah.
some point? Wow.
Hey, let's watch it right now,
While we-
and we'll comment on it while this is going.
Yeah, the commentary section.
Just hear us laughing sporadically once in a while.
That would be a pretty good idea, just to watch shit with people, They can cue it up.
Yeah, it's
Dude,
called
people-
Mystery Theater, like
3,000,
3,000, dude. Come on,
Yeah.
it's already been done.
Come on.
Everything's been
What's the
done.
matter with you?
What's the next subject?
The next subject
Hats.
is
I like hats. You guys like hats? Ones with ruffles, ruffly sleeves. You guys like ruffly sleeves?
I like
No?
pirate shirts. Also, I want to mention that if you do, there's been people that are giving us tips, and we really appreciate everybody who gave us tips the other
Yeah,
day when we
thank
did
you.
the live stream. But
That was cool.
I also
That was
wanted to
improv,
mention
We
that
want more.
If
Oh, sorry.
well, yeah, we want more. But I'm
Just
saying
kidding.
if you feel better about buying our merchandise, and you get something for something, you can go to our website, britain'sfinestband.com. / I think it's merchandise, and we have some great shirts. We actually printed up a bunch of awesome shirts that we were going to use, and then we just never played again.
Yeah, hey, don't buy them all because we need a couple to wear.
That's true.
All right? Just take it easy out there. Don't go crazy buying all our shit.
Yeah, so we got a lot of stuff in our merch. So if you're interested, we have pins.
Okay,
and
you can buy it all.
buttons and T-shirts, and
I went through
you could buy our social security number.
I went through my closet
Bank
and
account.
just
And you're-
getting rid of T-shirts I don't wear anymore. But I kept all the Britain's finest ones. And so we have a shitload of shirts, man.
We're
T-shirts.
cool.
Yeah,
I'm
there's
wearing one right now. So
I
it's
went
pretty
through
sweet.
my closet and I found Benny in there. So
Louis'
he's finally
face
out of the
is-
closet.
We
Right here.
Today I was having lunch with my mom, and she was wearing one of the unauthorized Philippines shirts,
Oh.
the ones they made without our permission.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah, I got one of those too.
They're
I was like,
comfortable,
I do, they
dude.
are.
They're
They're-
soft.
they're
some
done.
good material.
Yeah, they had really good material.
Well, it's
They-
because they were made there by
Hey, all right, racist. Okay.
What he's
Hey!
he's saying some
Hey!
Philippine people
That is
made
seriously
shirts in Philippines. And it's
offensive.
true.
Yeah, is that racist just because they lived there and they made a shirt?
Yes,
God.
they actually.
I'm gonna have to edit that out.
You had to put a little mark right there.
Yeah.
No, man.
Or
put
just
it
put
in
a
there.
disclaimer.
Just have me
This
talking about
next
it
part
afterwards.
of the
What is
show.
it, racist? Just
I don't understand
Hey,
why.
racism
on the
is-
so it
comments.
sounds like I'm crazy. Just have my part of that
okay.
conversation.
Yeah,
and then-
racism is just as severe as walking up and stabbing someone in the chest, you know? Saying something,
That's true.
you know, offensive.
So we got merch.
Yes, we have merch, and you know what I was thinking the other day? When you were a kid, did you ever? I mean, I know this is a random thought, but
I'm for it.
Did you ever have to get a suppository installed when you were a kid?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
I did.
Didn't we talk about this before?
Did we? Okay.
I'm pretty sure we had a podcast that was dedicated to that.
I think every podcast has touched
Yeah.
on this subject.
It just goes to show you how
How did this even
ruined my
enter
life,
your
dude.
mind? I think
No, because we
when
were.
this, it never leaves his mind.
I was watching.
Come on.
I was watching the Louis C.K. special, and it talks about how the French. He's dating this. He met this woman in France because he couldn't do any shows in the United States.
Yeah.
So he his girlfriend was sick. She's French, and when he went to give her a thermometer, she put it in her butt, and he said, "What are you doing?" She's like, "This is how you Americans take your temperature." And all of a sudden, it popped in my head like, "Yeah, no shit. Why did my parents put a suppository on my butt?" And then we're back on the subject.
Listen, the funny thing is, just thinking about that, I was just thinking about that. I was like, who the hell put that idea together? Like, who did the scientific research to go, hey, you know what? It's weird if you stick this in your ass, it'll dissolve a lot faster and get through your bloodstream.
I think it's just kind of you put it together, man. I mean, it's
I mean,
right
isn't
there.
it
It's
just
at
the same
source.
thing if you put it under your tongue? I mean, like
yeah,
nowadays,
how come your mouth isn't as good of a resource? I mean, all that stuff goes. How did they find out?
they didn't? I think it was just.
That's what I
fucking-
think too.
I think it was just
some
bullshit.
sick pervert doctor was like, "Hey, I got an idea. Let's make this a little bit more fun for us. A little
Yeah.
worse for those guys, except for Ruben."
This is the '80s, all right. You know what? Let me just throw out this idea.
It's
I
like
just,
yeah,
take
it's
the
like
torch.
that episode of Family Guy where they had Johnson and Johnson and Lois was giving Stewie a bath and he was like,
The shampoo.
"Damn those lying bastards at Johnson and Johnson," and they go like, "Hey, why do we have no tears on the bottle, even though it does?" Why not? It's like
It's true.
it's like, and they start laughing, and then they wide shot, and it's a giant castle from Young Frankenstein, and there's thunder.
It's true. It does burn. All
Light
right.
torture.
It does?
Yeah.
No tears burns?
No tears burns, dude. I don't care. I
I
don't
never
know
knew
where they
that.
got that bullshit, but it burns.
Damn.
It burns. Yeah.
Don't use it to.
I remember when I was in the shower with my dad
Don't use what? Don't use that no
a
tears.
couple weeks ago.
I mean, hey,
Went all the way to Arkansas.
just to take a shower with your dad.
It's like, "Hey, Dad, can you put this in my? Can you wash my hair for me, Dad?" It's weird, man. It's somehow he's still like when he's standing, his penis is at eye level.
Because he made you
Damn,
lay
Dad, you're
down.
tall.
Did he check out your cigar box?
He put a cigar in. He put it.
Oh, yeah.
He put an old stogie in.
Thanks, pops.
He moved the G string on the cigar box guitar and went at it. Bang, gang, 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 gang.
I can't with you
this is
guys.
so
So your
good.
dad lives in Arkansas. Arkansas.
Arkansas ass.
That's
Damn, Dad, I'm
disgusting.
sorry. When you hear this, you're gonna be so offended.
He should know better.
But you got a great
Yeah.
penis.
His name's Dennis, right? Dennis Chadwick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chadwick and
It's so funny. Like
Look him up.
every single
He's a
show
good-
he attended, everybody who walked out of the theater after the show, my son, that was Paul McCartney up there. She's like so proud and everything. It was pretty.
Yeah,
cool.
man. He came to see me do a show with an orchestra one time, and he's sitting in the audience, and he was next to these old ladies, and he said the old ladies were just talking and talking, and they were like, "Oh, that Paul is so cute. He's amazing," and they were going on about how great I was, of course. And then he's sitting there, and he told me, he's like, "Yeah, my chest swelled up." I was like,
And his
"That
penis.
came out of my penis. You came out of my bowels."
Oh,
All
my
right.
God.
I'll be here all week. Try the veal.
Seriously, we'll be here all week. We
Yeah.
need money. We're desperate.
I thought it was shred the veal.
We can't leave now. You know, this is we're in quarantine in this little studio.
We're at the BF studio, which we haven't been in a while.
We're in Ovaltine.
I was driving over here and I forgot where this place was. I was like, where is this place?
Yeah, me too. I missed the odd ramp, and
When was the last
that
time we were all
sucked.
together here?
more
Like
than
a-
a year ago,
Really?
for sure. Right? I would say more than a year ago.
I've hung out here.
Well, yeah, you came over here to do all kinds of illegal substances.
Yeah.
No, they're legal now.
Those days
that's
are right behind
this
me,
Is California.
okay?
Who
This
am I
California,
kidding?
man.
Yeah, he's legal now. See, I'm insinuating that he was.
Underage? Disgusting.
I was celebrating for you, man.
Shut up.
Yeah, it's been a while. This studio was first Britain's finest studio,
Yeah.
which is where BF.
Oh,
come
that's
from.
why the little figurines are gone.
But now it's Best
Oh,
Friends
right
Studio,
there.
right?
Best Friends.
Best friends.
It's
Friends forever.
FWENDS. Best Friends.
Friends.
And then
Best friends forever.
no, I kept the BF after BF left, and
After we broke
and then
up.
I paid for it for a while, and then now the record company's paying for it, which is nice.
Nice.
So I don't know for how much longer, man, because the way you're making no music, nothing, you know.
Why
Oh,
not?
God.
Why,
Like we're trying. Me and Anthony have started getting together again.
I was gonna say it's like you guys got tons of time to be writing a bunch of
Yeah.
stuff.
yeah, but we just it's just weird.
Guys have been
It's just weird. It's just weird to come here. I'm a little freaked out to come here, actually.
Well, stop spitting on the walls, dude.
Yeah.
Don't let random
I even-
people in
you
here and spit.
permanently
Anthony
sealed the
Anthony
AC?
even he duct taped the freaking the air conditioner
Why?
thingy vent.
It's warm in here.
Yeah.
because you don't want COVID traveling into the room.
Jesus.
Yeah,
I hope
dude.
that's a joke, dude.
Nah, he did.
Oh, my God.
He actually covered the exhaust too, or the out, and that thing fell down. So
Shit is real.
You better piss
Is
in a
it
bottle.
is it?
COVID-19,
Is this Shit is real? Is it real? Is this the real life?
This is the real life nowadays.
But there's a lot of people here at the studio tonight on a Saturday night. We're at the warehouse here.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. And every night, you know, actually every morning there would be like 3 or 4 cars here, you know, at least. And I spent the night here a couple nights ago, and I woke up and my car was the only one in the parking lot. Like, fuck, I guess people are kind of not hanging out here all night, you know,
That's
as
crazy
often
talk.
as before.
Well, there you go. That should say something.
Yeah. I
It's
don't
real,
know.
bitch. Real bitch.
Yeah.
Had a hiccup.
So yeah, we're doing the live thing, right?
Yeah, we're going to be doing the live thing.
and hopefully releasing more podcasts.
More podcasts for sure.
yeah.
You know what I was going to say is that we're probably going to be releasing more of those videos, right? Isn't If I Fell coming out next?
Oh yeah, I forgot to edit that
Okay, nice.
or to
But
mix that.
either way, be on the
Thanks for
lookout for
reminding me
another
right
one.
now.
No
it's
problem.
not on a real schedule yet, but maybe it'll get on one. We'll
Yeah.
see. You never know with
And then
Britain's
after
Finest.
If I Fell, what's the next one we're doing? Are we still doing Paperback Writer, or is that one still on?
I finished my part on that. You guys
Oh.
just have
I
to-
need a rhythm track to follow, so if you have something finished already, send it to me.
let's do something less challenging.
Okay. Want to do it? And I Love Her? That one's easy.
Oh, for you on the little drum pad?
Oh no, I'd be probably doing it here now since I'm coming back to the studio
Oh.
now. But
Yeah, it's just, that
but
song.
no, I mean
It's pretty crazy.
paperback writer, not on drums. I mean just like vocally, it's a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Well, then why don't we do it here in the studio?
Three-piece,
I think they know the little doodads now. The little parts.
Paperback Writer.
I'm pretty sure. Or
Paperback
Writer.
Yeah.
I don't know. I gotta look at- Well, what did we decide?
is that how it goes?
Sorry, earphone people.
I know if you're listening to this with your headphones, you're screwed right now.
So
You're bleeding.
any
Thanks to me.
any talking shit stories about people on the internet?
We haven't been I mean,
Let me see. I
know.
commented today on the first time on anything political ever, but it was friends of mine that had they posted something about the Democrats drink the CNN Kool-Aid kind of type of a meme, and I wrote under it. I said, "Are you referring to me?" And then I wrote, "I only watch Fox where the truth lives," or something like that, and I went down a whole little, and then I said, I'm just kidding. I don't watch any news. I have no idea what's happening. I even admitted, and this is the truth, I don't know what's going on in the world any better than I did when I was 8 years old. and I don't watch any news. I don't know who's running for what, and I don't care. But I love you guys, and I put little hearts onto it, and everybody fucking thumbs up me and loved me back, even though I was just kind of taking a little stab at them, you know.
I had a little weak moment where I was buzzed. You know?
A weak moment.
Yeah, I was pretty buzzed because I hardly ever check Facebook and
Right.
let alone read comments and shit. Like whatever, dude.
Yeah.
And but I think this might have been Instagram. It's one of our friends from the East Coast. She posted something about like 6 feet is not. It's fucking bullshit. 6 feet's bullshit, right? This is not about health. This is about control.
Right.
And I was drunk. I was wine drunk. And
that's the
I
worst.
posted like, yeah, like Clinton is about control. Hillary's about control. Obama's about control. Trump's about control. Bush is about control. Your job is about control. Music, she's one of our fans. Music is about control.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about control. It has always been about control.
Yeah.
You know. So what do you suggest?
Yeah.
And she replied, "Oh well, I don't suggest for anybody to do anything. You know, like
Right.
you know. It's just like kind of a weird cop out, but I agreed with her. Like I don't either. I don't suggest anything either. But it's just everybody's kind of has their opinions. They think they know what's going on, and it's weird to watch these people. And I always sit in silence when I see people posting things. Even Ruben, I've seen him post stuff, and I'm just like, ugh, like you don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Nobody really knows what's going on. Yet everybody's just so kind of,
Yeah.
you know.
I have no idea.
You know what? It's
And
Illuminati.
everybody,
you know it.
Yeah.
Everybody
Yes.
thinks because they watch CNN or Fox News and they get their narrative, you know, spelled out to them. They think they know what's going on, but dude, come on, dude. Nobody
I don't
really
know.
knows.
Look.
I literally said this to somebody the other day. I was like, you know what, man? Until somebody shows up, until it's too late, that's when I start to care, and that's always the case. As soon as it's too late, and there's a guy in my house like, hey, I'm gonna take you to a concentration camp, Benny. I'll be like, oh man, I guess I should have stood up for
You should have
myself.
concentrated a little more, baby.
How dare you, sir?
Should have really stood up for myself back there. Oh well, here I go.
You know what? I get
That's when
most-
I'll actually get scared too.
I watch the real news, so most of the stuff I watch is on Pornhub. But I don't find that it's
Those
really
people
com-
are not social distancing.
They're definitely not.
Yeah, they are. I'm watching social distancing porn. It's fucking awesome, man. There's a guy on one end of the room, and he's just jerking off, and the lady's way on the other end. Or the other dude, I'm sorry. The other dude's way on the other end of the room. And it's great.
Oh,
They're just
my
looking
Lord.
at each other, and they really want to.
My
And it makes
goodness.
me really
I
want
mean-
them to,
Mm-hmm.
which is really exciting.
No. No.
I don't know, but it's weird to
I
me
don't
that people have the they have
My recording still. Sorry, I gotta check the camera.
How dare you, sir?
people have the inclination to post their opinions on social media. You know, though their opinions are not their own opinions, especially in a time like now. It's not like they're out there doing research.
Yeah.
They're literally at home, you know, watching or having their opinions made through this propaganda, you know,
Yeah.
tool, which is the internet. You know, and to say it's anything other than that is crazy.
It's
you
very
know?
silly.
It's all propaganda, no matter what you're into. If you're deeply conspiratorial and you're anti, you know, propaganda, dude, that's a form of propaganda too. You know, and
Right.
and you find like the same kind of subject matter kind of floating around, even in propaganda circles, flat earthers or whatever.
Right.
Whatever it might be, you know, like
It's aliens. Come on, we know it.
it's aliens.
They're preparing
it's,
us for
it's
aliens.
reptilian shapeshifters.
Yep.
9/11 was an inside job.
Yeah, their
You know,
jobs are easy right
it's
now.
Hollywood. It's
The
Hollywood.
jobs to formulate these stories. are
It's eyes
super
wide
easy.
shut at the top level is what's going on. I mean, you know, I'm waiting to show up at that party and a bunch of people just fucking each other, and it's like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, me
You
too.
know,
dude.
I
I've
haven't
been
seen
knocking
that
on the
movie.
door all night, man. They won't
That
let me in.
doorman never
But I know
comes
what it's
down.
about.
The back door.
At your mom's house.
Oh,
No, but I mean, Ruben, I've seen you post stuff, and I've seen you post. For some reason, maybe I looked at one of your posts once, and then you come up on my feed now, and I'm like, ugh.
see what happens?
And then so like you're like into posting stuff that's semi-political, you know. Even Artie from the Fab Four, he posts stuff that's political, and to me, it's just like it's weird because I don't know.
Yeah,
You know,
I used to
don't-
be very much worse politically on Facebook, and a lot has happened since those days. for one, I actually listened to the old podcasts around the time that I was posting all that stuff, and I was just so, with zeal posting all this shit that I would regurgitate from, political zealots. And, like, I just had this period of just shut up and listen. Like in those old podcasts, I was trying to say something as if I lived the amount of life that everyone in this room had lived. And I was just like, dude, kid, shut up. The best thing you can do is listen. So now I think I'm not posting anything politically here nor there.
Sorry, you were saying something?
But
I wasn't listening.
Sorry.
Okay.
I was just thinking it'd be funny if he just listened to the whole podcast. He never says anything on this one.
Yeah, right. I mean, but I kind of wanted to step back and not really post something from a view that was compiled from what people are saying on the news or how people are receiving this. I just noticed that people were like giving people shit for acting out in defiance of social distancing because, the fact that humans are social creatures. I mean, that's common knowledge, and some people have a harder time, staying at home and not going out there and doing something that involves attention or being around other people and agreeing with each other. And because what we're doing on a massive scale is completely unnatural to humans. I mean, this is probably the largest display of isolation, mass isolation seen in the world ever. So I just wanted to comment on, well, yeah, this is very unnatural. Of course people are going to be,
Yeah, but see, here's where that sense of logic is kind of thrown out. By the very nature of you posting about it it's weird, because if you're a person that needs to be more social, then you would kind of keep that shit on the down low, and you would call your friends and be like, "Hey, let's go to a park," or you know what I mean. Like, you would kind of keep it, but for you to post it in this distancing sphere, like Facebook, it is about distancing, even before distancing was a thing.
Sure.
Facebook is about distancing.
Yeah.
And you're posting this thing on a distancing kind of what's the word I'm looking
Platform.
for? Platform.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
And when most people that do really need that social interaction are going to keep a low pro and go on the side and do some social things with people, but secretly. And I know people that have been doing that,
Yeah, me too.
They've been hanging out, like, and not posting it on any social media, just like, and because they need it, because we do have, we're social beings, and we need to have social interaction in order to kind of stay sane. Luckily, I live in a house full of people, and Benny's got his girl, Robert's got his girl,
Excuse me?
Are you living with people?
Yeah, I'm at home right now. My brother and my mother.
Yeah, so at least we're lucky in that sense that we actually have social circles that we're interacting with. A lot of people don't even have that
If
at all.
all you got is your cat.
So it would be,
Or your
of course, a
parakeet.
person that is in a social in a social atmosphere posting about being social on a
Yeah, and
distancing platform. Like, it's just weird. It's like
I
there's
figure
so many
my-
contradictions and ironies
yeah,
in you commenting about this.
yeah.
And I'm saying most people don't know what the fuck's is going on, and they're posting about this shit as if it matters. Like, as if their opinion matters too.
Yeah, I just within the realm of people that are posting on that platform, it did stir up. I did get more attention from people that otherwise would just pass my whatever I put out there entirely. So it did stir up the pot and disturb the status quo of my posts. So that was, I don't know, that's what I got out of it. I just wanted to, see what happened if I just threw out my privileged opinion, being somebody who is home with someone and gets to interact, and kind of just put that idea out there. It was really more of an experiment on my part than it was something to bring attention to myself in a distancing platform.
Yeah.
Hey, my mom had a good time with it, man. She just jumped in her car and she's like, I'm going to go see if hospitals are full like everybody's saying. So she drove to all the major hospitals in like the LA vicinity with her phone recording all the parking lots that are completely empty, and was just like, there is nothing like that happening. What they're saying on the news is crazy, you know, like that.
Well,
and she posted
of course, who watches the news?
that. Yeah.
You know,
Well, yeah.
you
I
know,
mean,
like,
emergency
fucking-
rooms are empty, but ICUs are like.
I was talking to Andrew Bockelman, and
Maybe.
he's a funny guy to talk to. He was saying that he says he puts on Fox every day. He listens to Fox every day. He says, I listen to it so I can find out what's not happening.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's beautiful. I was like,
Yeah.
dude.
same can be
rad.
said across the board.
Yeah,
though,
oh
you
yeah,
know.
exactly. I mean, it's either way.
It's all, man.
It's all relative, you know, as far as I'm concerned. You know, I mean,
It's
because
somewhere in the middle.
it's somewhere in the middle.
It's somewhere in the middle, but it's not like CNN and Fox are far left and far right. You know,
They're
you
like
know,
this.
They are like that. Yeah, they're right in the middle. They're
High
you know,
five.
and yeah, man, I don't know. It's scary to think if this is a weird social experiment and not.
I'm failing, man.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
No,
I wear my
I-
mask. I'm a good boy. But
I mean, I guess we're in defiance of it completely because I don't know. I mean, there's certainly a sense of precaution and concern within us all, but I mean, here we are making a podcast.
I'm
Right.
wearing a mask.
I mean, Louis
It's
and
a
I
flesh
are,
mask.
Yeah.
I have a mask on my cock,
the most important one
You want to make sure
covering
it
the
doesn't-
one eye.
to time to
You don't
tiny
want to
one.
go in there.
I don't-
little,
yeah.
little tiny mask.
Yeah, it's got you wrap it around the ears of the.
But seriously,
No, I mean, yeah. I'm just I just like it's weird to see Facebook and Instagram. And again, I've never really participated much in it or kind of like spend hours, you know, scrolling. But even now in these weird days, it's you would think people would find some sort of humility and just back off, but damn, dude, like a lot of people are double downing, man, and kind of be like,
They're drawing
I
a
know what's
real-
going on. I
real-
know what's going on. I know
yeah.
the truth.
A real battle line is being drawn, and they're like, "Fucking get on this side! I'm gonna kill you."
Yeah, I know the truth. It's
pretty awesome.
Everybody knows the fucking truth. Shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's
what they
way
don't know is
easier
that I
to-
know
to
the truth,
this.
and I'm not gonna tell anyone. Yeah,
aliens.
I know
what's
the
up.
true truth.
Yeah.
and I'm not telling any of you. So, suck on that.
All right. They're interdimensional aliens. Bloodthirsty.
No, they're actually
Thirsty,
no, they're
interdimensional.
Yeah.
God.
they're anal
From your
probing
anus.
thirsty.
Mm-hmm.
These aliens want to come and anally probe us. I don't understand what is it with the alien. Look, let's finally put this on the
Maybe
table.
aliens fucking made suppositories. Have you
Maybe.
ever thought about
What
that?
I
The
wanna-
anal probe.
What I want to know is why aliens are anal probing us. I'm like, what? I mean, it's been years already. What
Yeah.
haven't you not learned from the anal probing?
And why turn the cows inside out? What the
Exactly.
fuck?
You know what?
Did
I
they
think
do that?
When's it
maybe,
gonna end?
maybe they think that they're supposed to be inside out. They take one and they're like, "Oh, this shit's wrong. Sorry, let's put
They're
it
like,
back
check
the way
it
it
out.
was."
They got all these cows the wrong way round. And then they go,
Wait a minute. You know,
yeah,
I think it's
they're
just
from
some
the fifth dimension, so everything is inside out. In that
So
dimension.
so they do the song Aquarius. Then,
Yes.
It's great.
Wasn't Aquarius who did the Fifth Dimension?
yeah.
No, it was the Fifth Dimension who did Aquarius.
Are you talking about the fifth element?
Oh no, that was a
Oh,
whole.
that's a whole other
Isn't
thing. Never
didn't
mind.
Rod
Sorry.
Serling call the Twilight Zone the fifth dimension? There was a fifth dimension.
Wait, wasn't he a porn star?
Rod Serling.
He performed often with that chick. What's her name? I forget her name, but I know Rusty Zipper.
Who's that? Who's that porn star that had the huge dick?
John Holmes.
John Holmes.
No. The other guy.
Ron Jeremy.
Ron Jeremy.
Oh.
I was hanging out at a bar on
Yeah, you
Sunset,
were.
Yeah.
and the dude just casually
North.
walks in, and apparently he's
Who
there
else
all the
you wanna
time.
know?
It's Rainbow Bar and Grill by the Roxy.
He lives in there.
He lives there. Like it's like
I got an encyclopedia in my
how do
mind
I know
of
who
porn
he is?
stars.
I've never seen his material
Go
yet.
ahead.
I knew who he was.
dude, because he's been in movies all his life.
He's so beautiful. He's such a good-looking man.
When, now or then?
Always.
Oh.
I kind of I'm looking at myself in the camera right now.
Uh-huh.
I kind of look like him actually.
Like Ron
You're like,
Jeremy?
hey, I
Nah,
feel
your hair's not stringy enough. It's like constantly post showered or
I'm getting
post
there.
greased.
I'm getting there.
You look like,
Like
Post
somebody-
Malone, dude.
It looks
Oh,
like
pre-
someone dumped
pre-Mal-
spaghetti on
he
his
looks
head
like
and then he kind of
pre-Malone.
flicked it off.
Oh, you bastard. That's my joke, man. I was going to start a tribute band for Post Malone called Pre-Malone.
I'm sure you heard that originally from me.
No, I didn't.
I've been
I
saying
came
that.
up with that. Who came up with that?
So
Me?
Okay.
I thought of it.
It's settled.
You
What's
guys
that?
suck. You're late to the game.
Post Malone. What?
They're saying pre-Malone, but I came up. That was my idea.
Oh.
No, wait. Was it your idea?
No.
That was my idea. I said it first.
Mine.
I'm,
I think I was
They
the
were trying
first.
to fight over it, so I just took it.
I don't know. I
It was
wonder
me.
how many people think that they were the first person to like make
about-
corona jokes, like Tecate virus, Modelo virus. I wonder, like, I bet a shit ton of people believe they were the first person to
Oh, I
make that
definitely-
joke.
Like Jesus.
I think it was me.
Like Jesus, he thought he was the first to be crucified. I don't think so, man.
Come on.
You were not the first one.
Why?
You were late to the game, bro.
why?
It's true.
It's true.
he
not
wasn't
the
even,
first.
he wasn't even the first one that day.
He closed out the night.
I'm reading this. Dude, you know Anne Rice wrote 2 books about Jesus Christ.
No way.
Nuh-uh.
Are they,
Yeah.
was it a
The
vampire?
second one's right there actually,
Are they,
called-
and you're reading those?
and
Are they good?
I'm reading the first one right now.
It's called Jesus Old
Uh,
Blood.
And it's called Out of Egypt, the first one.
Yeah.
And he's leaving Egypt, and he's 7 years old, and his family's leaving Egypt, Alexandria, and it's like this freaking post-apocalyptic tale of harrowing day to day leaving Jerusalem after Herod's son is freaking trying to take over the throne, and
Yeah.
he's just killing everybody, and there's a bunch of bandits going through different cities on their way from wherever the temple's at. Where's the temple? Jerusalem on the way to Nazareth.
Wait,
And it's just-
isn't
it's
that
just-
the band Nazareth?
Yes. Nazareth. And
Yeah.
no, so it's like
Those guys are
it's
good.
like, dude, freaking Anne Rice is writing about Jesus in 2005. She wrote this book, or it was released in 2005,
Yeah.
and it's about I
Good
guess
year.
she based it on the Gospels of
Old
that
Testament
are not in the Bible.
or New Old Testament or New Testament?
In between.
Oh, okay.
You got to read the
Lamb.
book. Have you ever? Yeah, Lamb.
Lamb.
Yeah, that's a
Thinking about
great
that.
book, man.
I don't like lamb. It's kind of gamey.
Biff.
Yeah, Lamb is this like, it's somehow
Gamey.
tries to fill in the gap between the time like Jesus is a baby and to the time that he's 33. You know,
Yeah.
like no one's ever really touched on that. So he writes this book. It looks like a Bible too. When you buy it, it looks like a Bible, and it tries to fill in what happened, and it fits so great. Like you really could squeeze that book in there, and it's hilarious, but at
Well-
the same time, it's pretty.
Yeah,
it seems like it could be real.
There's a lot of books,
Yeah.
that were left out of the
Yeah, right.
left out of the
Omitted.
Bible. Yeah,
like
so there's-
fan fiction, right?
that were originally included or part of the canon.
Mhm.
Well,
Part of
look,
the can-
okay, think
and,
about it. Jesus as a high school kid. You know how popular that dude is? People be like, "Hey, yo, dude. Hey, Chewy, go turn that water bath into some fucking wine." And all of a sudden he'd be like, "Boom!" All of a sudden everybody's drunk. It's like Strawberry Hill, dude. Like boom, Strawberry Hill.
Heck
So
yeah,
does
man.
does she write that Jesus is performing
Cheap
any
wine.
miracles? Or?
Yeah, but not purposely. It's just kind of like a thing he's got, and Mary and Joseph are like trying to hide it, or not hide it, but they're trying to hide it from him.
So it's like a
that he's
superhero
God's
movie.
son.
Oh.
They're trying to. He doesn't know yet. He's 7 years old. So,
George
So when
Carlin
he-
said
but
that
when he-
woman's sticking to her story.
so he's trying to make sense of it. It's written, by older Jesus, or older Jesus is narrating, and he's trying to remember.
That's his
So
pi-
far, I mean, I'm only like 100 pages in, so he's still 7 years old.
That's his
And I think
pickup
he
line,
gets
dude.
older.
So are there any vagaries? Like I don't quite remember this.
Yeah, it's
at a
annoying.
bar.
It's annoying. It's annoying
like,
because
hey.
it's a little specific.
Well,
for
Well,
a
if
7
he
year old.
was
God.
deity, then he
So-
probably would remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's really cool to like. I thought it was gonna be like about Jesus vampire or something like that, but now it's just about Jesus, which is kind of cool.
yeah.
Jesus vampire.
Yeah, because Anne Rice is
Anne Rice writes
interview
vampire.
with the vampire,
Oh, okay.
the vampire
Yeah.
Lestat, all that stuff.
Interview with the
He thought,
vampire.
like,
fucking
It's pretty interesting.
short stories. With
I thought I was like, man,
Abraham Lincoln's gonna come in,
yeah.
Start whacking
bite Jesus' neck. Crazy.
There was this great Terminator, but he goes back into the time of Jesus, and one of the guys that was sent back is like, "What are you, some kind of a wise guy or something?" And he's talking to one of the 3 wise men, and he's like, "Well, actually, yes, I am." It's like, what is that guy?
Wise guy over here.
What are you,
He's
some
like,
kind
"Hey,
of a wise
baby."
guy? Well,
Imagine
yes,
Jesus
sir,
at
I am.
a house party. He's like, "Hey man, so what's up, girl? You want to be with the Son of God or what? You want the Son of God to rock your world tonight?" You know how many times he got turned down? Bullshit! You're not the Son of God. Oh yeah. Let me
Watch
show you.
this. That's the cool thing about that. Is like
What's that?
He gave her an orgasm by just pointing at her.
he said it's 15 inches long, and she said, "I don't believe you," and he said, "Have faith."
That was good, dude.
He said, it's 15 inches long. I don't believe you. No, I'm talking about the spike that went through my freaking
Shit.
went through my freaking ankles. Both of them.
It's
Oh,
like,
is it getting hot in here? I feel like the flames of hell are
It's
licking
hot,
me.
dude. It's hot. It's hot, dude. Like I
getting
said.
hot
Wow,
in here.
guys.
It's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes.
Yeah, man. It's
Um,
a popular request when I play.
Yeah, we're not trying to
We're
fit
about
anybody.
an hour in.
We're not trying to fit
See you guys
anybody,
later. It was
So.
great talking to you.
Thanks, guys, for joining us.
Look,
You
now
asked
now
for
that we
this,
offended
remember.
all the Christians.
I went to Catholic school, so I'm okay to say all this stuff.
Yeah, it's true. He has a right.
It's true.
I guess.
Hey, man, I went to Catholic school for many years.
So, hey, my mom went to Catholic school too. Or
See?
I don't know if she did, but she was raised Catholic.
all right.
Me too.
So, does anybody have any cool stories about their past?
Yeah, I
About-
was gonna say,
this-
what's the most embarrassing thing that your parents ever caught you doing? Who wants to go first?
I would always rat myself out. They never caught me.
I remember one time
You
my
ratted yourself out, jacking off. You're like, Mom, I was jacking off last night.
I remember one time my dad started banging on the bathroom door, and he was like, "Hey, yeah, I know what you're doing in there. Stop wasting water. Just keep it in your room." But you know what pissed me off?
2-hour
Is that I
shower.
was just showering.
Yeah,
I wasn't doing
just
anything.
really getting in there with the soap.
I was
my
really
God.
washing my dick. I mean, I want to
Why
make
did you
sure it was
ask this
really
question,
clean.
Louis?
Here, I got a good one.
Okay,
And my mom,
we're listening.
It's not that this is nothing embarrassing that I got caught doing. But one time I came home from school and I came running in, and my brother was in the front bathroom already. He runs in first because we both had to piss, and I'm like, "Fuck, I gotta use the back bathroom." So I cut through into my mom's room, which is where the back bathroom was, and I ran in there and I went straight in there and I yanked my dick out and I started pissing, and my mom started screaming. And she's in the bathtub, like right alongside me, looking at my dick, and I'm looking at her titties. Oh,
And then you
it
made
was so wrong. We looked at each other, and then
you made a love connection.
that's exactly what I was gonna say, man. You stole my story. That's what happened.
Great minds think alike, bro.
I was like, Mom, that's pretty fuzzy
How
down
is
there.
anybody?
like, what, you got a Commodore between your legs?
Oh man.
She's like, well, look at you. There's like 4 hairs growing out of your balls. That's all you got. Big deal. You think you're a man?
I like that her response was not Benny. It was just like screaming.
Yeah, that's the real part of the story. True part of the story is she started screaming, and I didn't know she was there for a second until I heard that screaming, and I was like, it was just doubly embarrassing. My dick was out, and she was butt naked next to me. I never saw that, and I was like, I don't know, 13 years old. I was like, ah!
It ruined you for life. Now every woman.
How old was she at this time?
I was in her 20s.
No, really?
Yeah, my mom was young. My mom,
She had you when she was 7?
she had me when she was 18.
Louis.
So you were 13. She was in her 20s. She was in her 30s.
Wait, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
early 30s.
Early
You know what?
30s,
That
huh?
math is not sexy.
Early 30s. Cindy?
Yeah.
That'd be kind of nice.
Hey, man, she was smoking.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
What was she smoking?
Fucking freebase.
freebasing that.
I'm on slandering my mom. My mom's never done anything like that. Folks.
She's listening.
I just-
Right.
Hey, Penny.
I'm puppy.
Ah,
If she listens to this, she's gonna die.
dude,
All right.
on the way here,
of sadness and
I got
anger.
off the freeway, and there's this narrow bank. If you miss the 405 exit south, you have to take another exit. And like, I swear, on that off ramp, there was a little puppy with a neck and a collar on, and I stopped because I was about to run him over, and I didn't want to run him over. And then he's running back and forth, and I'm like, should I get out and rescue him? Because there's traffic coming.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, if I rescue him, a car is just going to come and slam into my car, and what do I do with this puppy? And like, dude, I just left him there. I
You hit
drove
him.
away. And
So
it's
you
like,
ran him over to make sure nobody else did.
Man, I told you a story
I
about how
felt
my
so
mom was
terrible.
naked, and this is what you give me back, huh? That's what you give me.
I'm
This
just
is-
saying.
I
like, this is
I think-
disturbing me.
I
like,
think this is the story he's telling himself after he fucking hit that puppy. Just
And then
Nailed him.
backed
and
up
just,
over
and
it.
then,
Put it in
no,
reverse.
not even. It just flew up in the air and then landed on the hood, and he's just watching it on the windshield. And he's fucking put the windshield wipers on. It's
hey,
like,
I'm parked right there.
It actually
Dying,
said,
like-
"Help me."
Help me, man.
I'm just saying.
don't touch me, man.
He just started life, and he's just running for some reason on a
RoboCop.
freeway off ramp.
Yeah, you made the. I don't know. I'm not gonna say
You made the right choice.
I'll say this. This one time I was driving to work, and
Uh-oh.
a fucking motorcycle dude fell off his motorcycle and slid. And he was next to me sliding, and he went in front
like a
of me. That
movie,
fool
like-
kept going, dude. He's on the floor scraping.
But when he cut in front of you,
Scraping.
did
And I'm
he
like-
turn his signal?
And I'm like, fuck, dude, I think I'm gonna be late for work, dude.
Just run over him.
I didn't run over him.
You just went
but-
around him though,
I
right?
didn't run over him, but I was just like, dude, I looked in the mirror. I'm like, I hope somebody gets him. You know? Like, like,
Yeah.
that's that. So he's like, oh, a puppy. I'm like, oh, fucking, what a terrible person
A
I
human.
am.
You did it right
Yeah,
And
I was late for work, man.
and that just goes to show control, man. Work. That was what
Yeah.
was in your mind.
Yeah.
Fuck that human being, man. I gotta get to work.
And there you
I'm gonna
go.
get
You know,
fired.
you just really landed on what
We came back
yeah.
around full circle. Magical. All right,
Yeah.
let's wrap it up. I'm just kidding. I don't want to wrap it up. I have
On
a
that
lot of
note.
stuff I want to hear you guys say.
All right.
Robert, it's your. Oh wait, Louis, you haven't given us really an embarrassing thing that you've been caught doing by your
Did you?
parents.
Did you? You didn't say the one.
I didn't do it. I just can't really think of anything right
He's
now.
like, I didn't do anything. I was a very good boy. Very good.
I never got caught.
I never got caught either.
Yeah, me either. I just have you ever caught your parents doing anything horrible? Come
I
on,
did.
man.
Yes, I
Walked in.
have.
My sister
No.
did.
Yeah, your sister.
Yeah, my sister walked
No,
in one
not
time
at
with
all.
my
Oh, this is
parents.
gonna be good.
I
That was
haven't.
it. That's the much of the story that I know. My
Ah.
sister walked in. That was
Ooh.
it. And it was like,
I got a weird
She
one.
walked in and joined in. That's crazy.
I got a weird one. That has nothing to do
but
with
sexy.
nothing to do with
Yeah,
what
it
we're
is.
talking about right now. But
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
today, I was hanging with Marissa. We went on a bike ride. And
You
hung
guys are
out.
friends again?
Yeah, we're friends. We're friends.
She rides bikes too.
She rides a bike, and so we're just chilling at the park. You know, we've been just hanging out at the park, having beers at the park, and
That's illegal, sir.
I tell her all my stories, dude. She's really young and I'm really old, and so I have a lot of freaking stories, you know.
Yeah.
Blood
And
play.
but I've told her about this girl. It goes back to Anne Rice actually, which is weird.
Ooh.
But I told her about this girl named Lisa Pongsatorn. She was like
What
a
a name.
senior, and I was a sophomore. And she was a cheerleader. She was like the head cheerleader or something, you know. And she's beautiful, beautiful Asian girl.
Mhm.
Her name Lisa Ping Pong. We used to call her. and
I think you told us
and
this.
That's just
and
racist.
when I was a
Yeah.
sophomore, I took orchestra and I played violin, and she sat next to me and she played violin, you know, as
Yeah.
a requirement or whatever. And she used to call me Louis, my love, Louis, my love. You know,
Oh,
like
sweet.
from Interview with the Vampire.
Yeah.
The little girl used to call
Anne Rice.
Yeah,
Right.
used to call Brad Pitt Louis, my love. You know.
Mm.
Anyway, so I told
Hot.
her this story, and then today, for some reason, I thought about her while we were hanging out, and I Googled her. I Googled Lisa Ping Pong,
And did I come up?
and she was a freaking Clippers girl and Lakers girl.
Whoa. Get
Yeah,
out of here. Really?
I don't know what she did after that, but I've lived a life pre-Google that even when I think about people or think about anything, like my go-to is not Google.
Yeah, me too. I forget it exists.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh shit, I gotta.
So what, do you go on Bing or what?
yeah, but
Yeah.
10 years ago I
Ask
could have
Jeeves.
Googled Lisa Ping
Ask
Pong.
Jeeves.
I could have Googled Lisa Ping Pong, and
Yeah, that's me.
you know, it's taken 20 years for me to Google this person
Right.
who was just this beautiful girl. They used to call me Louis, my love. You know, and
Damn.
I knew
Yeah.
a chick in high
Did
school
you
named
track her
Wolfie.
down and like
yeah.
communicate?
Oh, I got her.
Oh yeah.
No, but no. It's just I was saying that I was asking Marissa.
Oh, yeah.
She's really young, and you know, she would.
Yeah.
Her first thing would be like Facebook. You go on Facebook and find somebody, you know. But
Yeah.
it never crossed my mind
Right.
to do an internet search on this
See,
That's
chick
funny,
I knew
huh?
in high
what,
school.
what the new generation doesn't understand that if we wanted to look somebody up, we had to go to the Encyclopedia Britannica. It was like, I gotta look up somebody.
Had to open a phone book. I saw a post that actually reminds me. I saw a pretty funny post. It's somebody said if you feel like you're missing out on your graduation this year, seniors, just go outside and sit and have the sun beat down on you while you wear a shower curtain and listen to some old man read from a phone book. I was like, dude, yeah, that
It's
is
very
graduation.
synthetic,
right?
robes.
Yeah.
Unless you're in college where they're actually like wool or cotton.
Shower curtain. And
See, I don't.
you don't get it?
That doesn't ring to me at all because I didn't graduate.
I
so.
didn't either. I see it in movies a lot
Yeah.
though. I saw what it's supposed to look like. My graduation was like
Oh, actually, I did.
Here you
Forget
go.
it, scratch that. I graduated from adult school.
Oh, there you go.
I graduated by opening up a Cracker Jack box and I dumped out the little prize and
As you
got
got your diploma.
Nice.
Fuck yeah, I got it.
But yeah, that's
And then
pretty
you ate
funny
it.
because
You just fucking ate it.
Now it's in me.
Salty.
forever.
Yeah.
Oh
This is weird. This one has too much salt on it.
Dude, gross. Something else I did this week with Marissa at the park again.
Oh, dude,
On
I
a
don't
different
wanna-
day.
I don't want to hear it.
All right.
We were watching I brought my little JBL speaker.
Oh yeah.
And we were watching this dude that does breakdowns on songs,
Mm.
and he did Teen Spirit.
Is it
oh, you
Rick
finally got to that.
Beato?
Yeah, Rick Beato. Yeah,
Beato.
Yeah.
That dude is
Yeah,
badass.
I fucking hate him, dude. And
What?
Marissa knows I fucking hate him.
Why?
Because he's just one of those fucking nerds that he's too nerdy, dude. Like,
But
Wait
he-
till
but
I
he-
thought you were
Beato
speaking
gets
like
you.
in
He-
high regard of him when
but
he
he
did the
even
Kanye
said
West
it.
one. Didn't
He-
he do
no,
the?
Kanye West. That's a different.
Look,
one.
he
Oh,
even
it's a
said
different
it.
guy.
He even
Yeah.
said he's like, look, I know that Kurt Cobain didn't know what he was
exactly.
doing, but
right
the fact,
before he said that, I paused it and I started talking shit. Like, dude, that fool didn't know what the fuck.
Oh
and
yeah.
he didn't. He just
And then
he
as
was-
soon as I press play again, he said it. He's like,
Oh.
I know you guys are thinking, and but I don't really like that guy, but I do watch him. You know, because he's too musical for me. He's too. It's like
He's super nerdy. Yeah.
It's
See,
like
before
it's-
the rest.
It's like you're a technician, dude, but you're not the writer. You're not the people. The people that are blessed by God and they take this energy from wherever it comes from and they write shit, and then you as a technician, you have to like kind of like figure it out,
the
sort it out. You
frequencies,
sort it
yeah.
out, yeah.
But I mean,
And
but
so that's why I don't
proves-
like him. That's why I don't like him.
Well, I mean, but see, that's
But-
the thing is
but-
that he studied music, so and it happens all the time. Like I want to do something. Like I want to write a song, and because I didn't study music, well, I didn't finish my course, but you know, I don't know what it is that I want to do. I hear that I want to do something, but I can't physically do it because I don't know
Can't
how it
execute
works.
it.
Exactly, I
Oh.
can't execute it.
Well,
and he's one of
I'm-
those where he
I'm-
can say like, "Hey, he's playing a C minor, 13th, and look at how the vocals work." I mean,
Yeah.
I don't understand what he's talking
I-
about sometimes, but
I don't. But the thing is that, dude,
Sorry.
that fucking song is so what's the word I'm looking? It's just such a part of the ether, the zeitgeist, that you just assume that's the way songs should be written,
Yeah.
But when that dude was breaking it down, Rick Beato, I was like, holy shit, that vocal melody in the verse.
Yeah.
Who the fuck writes like that, dude?
Nobody.
Sing it,
Not
Benny.
anymore.
Sing it, Benny.
Which part are we talking
The
about?
verse for Teen Spirit.
Load up on guns.
Load up on guns. Bring your friends. It's fun to lose and to pretend.
Who would write that melody?
It's great.
Can you just like do like a, yeah?
Na 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 na. Da 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 da.
Dude, that shit's crazy. Like just because it's just part of the ether, part of the feeling of the time, you just assume people can just do that.
Yeah.
It's basic, but dude, it's so not basic.
It's
See,
magical.
look,
yeah.
I know you don't like
That
the guy.
song is magical.
But he said it best too. I was watching the one he did today about Vaseline. No, it was Interstate Love Song.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, Stone Temple Pilots another
Oh, I love the
amazing
Stone Temple
freaking song. I mean,
Pilots.
there's
That's
great songwriters.
Bassist
But-
is a monster.
but what he
too.
was saying-
The whole band, they're monsters.
I mean, they're all great musicians. They just knew their shit. But he was saying that the problem with today's music, which is true, everything is so quantized that a lot of the feel you're losing because back in those days, even toward the late 90s, everything was live. You recorded on tape. And yeah, you made edits, but not nowadays where they just crunch everything to follow like how you want it, and you kind of lose it. Music's become very robotic,
It's
Yeah,
less
yeah.
raw. Yeah.
which I miss. And he was making a lot of, especially like the Teen Spirit. There's like little pauses right before it gets to the next
it's
level.
right before the downbeat, the boom, dun, 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 boom, dun. It's the slight hesitance, and I never noticed it.
Yeah.
And then when he said it, I'm like, I fucking hate this guy. Why?
But do you know who he is? I mean, I'm assuming he's just like a.
I
mean, he's a
think
good guitar player.
He
He
was
can play.
part. Yeah, he's an amazing musician, theorist. I think he was in a band from the '90s that didn't quite get big. I don't know who it is. I'm sure if you can just Google it, that would be most people's inclination,
That's weird,
not
man.
mine at all.
I was just having a
Not mine,
conversation about Nirvana
I
last
just
night with a
assume
friend of mine, my friend Brooke Ellis. He was like, we were talking about just the
His
lyrics
name's
part of
Brooke?
it. Yeah, his name's Brooke.
White people.
I know. East Coast white people.
All right, go ahead.
He was talking about the lyrics and how he's like, I don't care what anybody says, the lyrics are meaningless, and I totally concur. I
don't like the lyrics. And then
I feel like that's a really true thing. But what I do like about the lyrics is that they don't mean anything, and I sort of think that because they don't mean anything, it sort of speaks to what he felt like the world was. And in a weird way, it means something because at the time, the world's a confusing place. He doesn't know why he's mad, but he's fucking mad or something like that, you know? Like, there's something weird and abstract about the lyrics that I love.
And so after we watched this thing, you know, and me and Marissa looked up the lyrics, and I never looked at the lyrics before. Again, not my first inclination to Google stuff that is from my past.
Yeah.
You know, that stuff happened, and but now there's a tool, like, because back in the day, unless you owned the album, and even then, I had a tape. I didn't have an album. I had the album on tape, you know, recorded tape.
Yeah.
And so there was no way to look up the lyrics, so it's just that's where your brain is set on that subject.
Yeah, I never saw the lyrics.
Yeah.
I had to find them out way later.
So I looked at the
He's a
lyrics, and
producer.
me and both Marissa were very disappointed in the lyrical content. And so then we Googled, what did he mean by this shit? You know, what did they mean? And he even says, they really didn't mean anything.
He
and
just liked the
that's kind of-
vessel to move the melody.
That's
He
kind
liked
of a
melodies.
letdown. It's kind of a letdown. It felt like a cop out to me and Marissa. Both of us were like, we felt a little let down. You know,
I liked it.
from the you know.
I
A
thought because it
mosquito, my
speaks
libido.
to me. I like to write that way.
But I thought, you know, what would Benny think? You know, especially being from that generation. You are from that '90s.
I feel like
You know.
there's little moments in it too that like it might be meaningless to him in a weird way, and it was a vessel to get the lyrics. The melody across, right? Just to make the melody work, he had to come up with enough syllables. But at the same time, he was saying there would be something in there that sounded like it was sprinkled in from something meaningful. Like when he says, "When the lights out, it's less dangerous." I was like, yeah, that's how it feels when you're at a rock show. As soon as the lights go down, you can kind of fucking sing along and you're pumping your fist. But if the light's on, everybody's kind of like nervous. There's something about that feeling, and it resonated with me as a teenager too, because I felt like, yeah, I when it's dark in the classroom and they bring the lights down, I felt a little bit more like I could be a clown. There are these little moments that spoke
of
to
lucidity. Of like, oh yeah, no, this guy
that kind of
is
sounds like something that means something to me. You know?
And the thing is, I can parallel that with Smashing Pumpkins, with Billy Corgan, because I'm not a Nirvana fan.
Right, I know.
I love Billy Corgan. I love Smashing Pumpkins. His lyrical content's fucking amazing, but he does have that Teen Spirit song, which is Cherub Rock, talking about the industry, talking about
Right.
And when I listen, you know, who wants money? What? How do the lyrics?
Yeah.
Who wants money? As long as you got
As long
money.
as
you
there's
got the
some
honey.
honey.
Yeah. So
Right.
who wants money? But that whole song is about the record industry, and I think Teen Spirit is kind of about the record industry.
Feels like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's like these little and there's
Smells like it.
smells like it.
Yeah.
I like there's another neat thing, another facet of the writing that I like too is like even though it's not necessarily something totally meaningful, like when he says in the other song "bruises on the fruit," it's just one of my favorite lyrics because I think of it. It's like it puts some weird visual idea of bruised fruit in my head while I'm listening to this bruises on the fruit.
What I'm trying to get at is like Billy Corgan. He wrote his shitty songs, which I think Cherub Rock is.
Yeah.
The musically, I think it's a great song.
Yeah.
Lyrically, not so great. But then you go into melancholy, even Siamese Dream. Like there's some Disarm, and there's some really deep shit.
Mayonnaise.
So
Come on.
does
great song.
Kurt Cobain have that really deep shit? That Teen Spirit's the hit. That's the one that it doesn't matter what the fuck he said. It was just so musical that
Something in the Way. Yeah. If you listen to Something in the Way on that album, that one's like him talking about himself living under a bridge because he didn't feel like he could stay at home. So he's talking about the scenery under this bridge that he's living in Aberdeen, and underneath the bridge, the top has sprung a leak. The animals I kept have all become my pets, and I'm living off of grass and the drippings from the ceiling. It's okay to eat fish because they don't have any feelings. That part is like a weird, random thought that enters his head, I think. But there's a lot of
he's
like
talking about women, though, right?
maybe tuna.
I think
And
that whole record's amazing.
yeah,
Yeah.
in
We brought
music
it back
in
around
general, like
to
rock
filth.
and roll with lyrics, music with lyrics, I think. Excuse me. people, when they listen to a song, the fans, the audience, the listener becomes kind of the custodian and takes from it what they will and what is most directly identifiable and how they choose to apply and relate to the lyrics inside within the song.
I don't have a day job yet, man, but I'll probably will be a custodian.
Yeah.
I was kind of
Good
young.
point. That was a good segue.
I was too young when Nirvana hit.
Great, yeah.
But I think I was in elementary school.
Well, you're the one who saw them, ass. Like,
Were
dude,
you?
like seriously,
No.
like the one
Are you
guy
being-
in this
are you
band,
being feces?
he saw them.
You're being feces.
He
You guys-
saw
you guys,
Nirvana.
You guys were actually old enough to be from
Dude,
that generation.
I saw
right?
Nirvana
Like,
in 1993.
That was-
at the Western Forum.
In '91, that's when Nevermind came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you
was-
guys were in high school.
I was
my
a sophomore in
sophomore
high
year.
school.
Yeah.
Literally saw them in their
You guys
prime.
were both sophomores?
Yeah, he was more sophomore-y than me at
Yeah.
that point.
When
I
Nir-
was
when Nir-
maybe.
I remember I was in a religion class of all classes.
Yeah, you guys are still a little too young, though, right? Like
No, that
to,
was like,
to appreciate Nevermind, you had to be in your 20s, right?
maybe. I think people in their 20s hated it. Like my cousin was a little older than me, and he just thought it was garbage. He was just like, "What is this?" Crappy
You know why?
music.
Because he
into-
was probably one of those. Did he love hair bands?
yeah, a little bit.
Because it was the hair band
He loved
guys.
goth bands, really.
Yeah. So when Nirvana hit, that was like the change of the guards. Like all of a sudden, when I was in junior high, not to date myself, but in the early to
I wanna
early
date
to mid.
you.
Either way, all the big bands, the big bands were just trailing off. It was like Poison, Motley Crue,
Yeah.
all the hair bands from Hollywood.
Right.
And even back then I wanted to be a rock guy. I wanted to play guitar for a living. That
Yeah.
was my dream. And I thought that you had to go to school and you had to learn to shred. I thought that's it. That's the only way you're going to be in a band. You have to be a shredder to play, or
kind
you
of true at that time.
or you
Yeah,
play
it was-
bass, or you play
I couldn't.
something else.
I wanted to join bands, but I sucked so bad, and that was the neat thing about Nirvana is all of a sudden it opened up this like
Exactly.
I loved Prince, for example, and I always wished that I could play that good, but there was nothing I could do to get as good as Prince. Like he was
Except practice.
Yeah,
I guess you didn't diddle enough.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
And then Nirvana comes out, and there's like two things about Nirvana. Like Nirvana made it so that I felt like, oh yeah, I could play stuff like this. This is cool, and the melodies are cool, and it sounds kick ass. I feel like I want to kick some shit down and break stuff.
It made you. It kind of connected with you.
Spoke
at
to my
teenage
angsty
angst.
ways,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
And even better than that, I couldn't fit in school. Like I wasn't a nerd enough to be a nerd, and I wasn't athletic, and I wasn't like. I couldn't find anybody I wasn't a stoner, so I didn't really fit in with those people or anything like that. But all my clothes came from the thrift store because I was a poor ass fucking kid. So I always had these holy clothes, and I was embarrassed that I was wearing holy clothes all the time. And then Nirvana shows up on TV, and it is okay, and I'm all of a sudden cool. People are like, "Oh, Benny's cool, man.
It's awesome.
He was ahead of the curve." Like somehow I look like some dude who
Ahead
I'm
of the
homeless
curve.
too. I was like, "Yeah, I'm cool now. I got holy jeans. Fuck yeah, And that was a neat moment for me. Like,
Shabby chic, baby.
It's called heroin.
I got
shake.
bagged on every day and picked on by the rich white kids, and then that fucking shit happened, and I was cooler than them.
Do you remember that they had a whole line of grunge clothing where they were
Yeah.
actually selling like these?
Yeah, the flannels.
the
and
flannels and
Kurt
stuff
was
like that.
laughing. He was like, "That's ridiculous, man." He's like, "I can't believe it."
But I mean, for me at least, I remember
Embarrassed.
everybody. I was always a Beatle fan, so every time my friends would be like, "Hey, man, listen to this band. They're called, Poison or blah 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 or Rat." I'm like,
Rat,
dude,
yes.
I'm like, I'm fine with the Beatles, man.
Slip and slide, take a ride.
But Nirvana was the first band. I remember I was sitting in class, and the guy behind me, he liked music too, so we would talk, music. And he's like, "Hey, man," he's like, "Here's this single. Go home and listen to it." And I said, "Who is it?" He's like, "It's a band called Nirvana, and the song's called Smells Like Teen Spirit." I'm like, "Nah, dude, I'm a big Beatle fan. And there's no band that's going to take away my love for the Beatles." He's like, "Just listen to it." And I was like, "All right." So just to shut him up, I took the tape, and I went home, took my Beatle tape out of my
Finally
out of
took
my
it out.
boom
Worn
box.
out.
It's all worn out. And I played "Smells Like Teen Spirit," and as soon as that guitar, that
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
like,
like-
"Holy shit, what is this?"
Yeah.
And I need to listen more. And I just fucking
Yeah.
Nirvana changed my life, my
Me too.
teenage,
I went down a
my teenage
Nirvana.
years.
yeah.
It was like
I was 15
Nirvana
years old,
rabbit
man.
hole. I was like, I got really weird after that too. I was like trying to be rebellious, and I shaved off my eyebrows and pissed my mom off. She was running for some fucking state assembly thing, and she had to take photos with the family, and I just shaved off my eyebrows. She's like, "Thanks a lot, Benny."
Why didn't you just
Thanks a
draw them in
lot."
with a Sharpie, dude?
I wore these fake round rims to cover up the idea that I had like no eyebrows.
And that was
I
it.
thought they were gonna grow back in like a day, but it took
No.
like fucking months, dude, before they even came anywhere close to. And I don't have eyebrows in the first place, obviously.
The funny thing
Fucking-
is that you don't realize how much eyebrows shape your face.
Oh, and how much you emote with your eyebrows.
Exactly.
Like everybody's like, I can't tell if you're mad or fucking what, man.
You're just
It's
a
like a
blank
cat.
slate, dude.
Nothing's changed. He's still. What the fuck? Is Benny mad? I can't tell, dude. I can't tell
I
anymore.
get the opposite.
The little lines just go up.
Everybody always says I'm pissed off. Everybody's like, man, Robert's kind of angry all the time. I'm like, what are you talking about?
I've had fans
Those
come up
fucking
and
thick
ask
eyebrows,
about you,
dude.
and they were like, I want to talk to him, but I'm afraid he seems like he might be mean or mad or something. I was like, what? Robert? I was like, he's
So
the
thick eyebrows.
nicest
But
guy.
it's a
you're
cruel
ever gonna
joke
meet.
that Benny plays on people because Robert is actually very
evil.
evil
Yeah,
and aggressive.
I set it all up. I'm like, oh, you think he's mean? No, he's a nice. Go talk to him. And then Robert's like, and he fucking bites them really hard on the ear.
Chi moves. But yeah, so then Nirvana hit, and that was it. And then I went to the thing with every music or every band that I always try to figure out how they got to that point. Same with the Beatles. That's why I got into rockabilly, because George was a big rockabilly fan,
Yeah.
and the Beatles loved all the early rhythm and blues stuff.
Did you especially study the Beatle part of the Beatles?
I tried not
The
to.
Beatles.
Well, that was the
Yeah.
Brian Epstein part, which I kind of strayed away
and all
from.
the Beatles.
Is Backbeat accurate to the relationship between John and Pete Best? I mean, not Pete Best.
Stu Sutcliffe?
Stu Sutcliffe.
Somewhat. See, I've read a lot of books.
Yeah.
I've read a lot of Beatle books to try to see. This is what I've done. I read a lot of Beatle books, and then I made my own history because everybody says something different. But
Yeah.
a lot of people, which it keeps coming up a lot. Stu and John were best friends, and when Astrid got in the way, it pissed him off. And I had a friend like that, where he was very controlling of who I hung out with if I was hanging out with him, and it was like that, and that was like his beef all the time. He's like, you're hanging out with these people, you didn't let me know. It's like, the fuck, you're not my freaking mother. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So I think he had that relationship. Now, was it a gay relationship? I doubt it, but who knows?
I mean,
but
there
it
was
a 30,
perhaps.
60, man.
Yeah, I
I'd
mean,
like to
there's a
say
scene in
yes.
that movie where he says, "I guess it's because we love each other," and it's like maybe there's.
It depends how you take it.
I
I
guess
mean,
so.
whatever.
It looks like it. It totally looks like it. The way John gets pissed in that movie about things. It's just kind of. It's either irrational or it's passion.
What you're
You know?
saying that John was gay?
I don't think he was gay, but he might have had some kind of a thing for Stu that was beyond just like.
What does this have to do with Nirvana, man? All right.
I know, man. We're talking about Nirvana.
I'm just kidding.
So
No,
look, so if you're gonna take anything away, if you have Nevermind and you don't have Bleach, go out and get Bleach.
And here's something to think about. And there's something that occurred to me way later too. Nirvana derailed really good guitar playing music.
That's true.
Like if it had continued the way that the glam rock bands were going, it was getting more and more crazy. You had Van Halen type people and all these Yngwie Malmsteens and all of these people that were playing crazy orchestrative guitar work. He derailed all that and dissuaded a whole generation of people
But
to
it's
play
like-
that well. And now it just
What's
wipe
weird,
that out.
What's weird to me, and this is something that I cop to, when I speak to my revolutionary friends.
The Revolutionary Friends being
My revolutionary friends.
like Jonathan Fister.
I only have one revolutionary friend, but she,
Che.
I let her know, I get what the reason I'm a rock and roller. I had revolutionary ideals as a young kid,
Right.
but I wanted to be a rock and roller, and rock and roll is all about control.
Mm-hmm.
It's about, so when you say him, when you say Kurt, it's not fucking Kurt. It's the fucking industry. So it's like saying, yeah,
Well,
the guitar gods were fucking wiped away by the storm that was
Well,
Kurt Cobain.
specifically,
But no, dude, it was just a business decision that was made,
Right.
a calculated business decision that fucking They put their
Well, it
chips
wasn't
down.
that
But he
calculated,
hated it,
man.
They-
right?
No,
It
dude,
was not
the
that
industry-
calculated.
the industry
they didn't
put
make
their-
enough copies of that album because they thought they were going to shelf it. They thought it was going to be another stupid piece of shit band.
Do you really believe that? Or
I
is
do.
that just
Oh yeah, he lived
propaganda?
in his car. It's true. That's true shit.
It's true.
Never mind.
Never mind.
Yeah, never. I mean, even when the
Never
album
mind.
came out and it hit #1, he hadn't seen any money yet. It was
Yeah.
he was
No,
Never
low.
mind,
He
never
hadn't
mind.
seen money, but
He hadn't seen money, but-
the industry saw money.
I'm sure
Of
before
course,
he did. Yeah.
of course. Yeah,
Yeah,
but I'm saying that everything in rock and roll is calculated.
Right.
Even if it's not calculated by the artist, which it's especially not calculated by the artist. So yeah,
But-
so the
Has
idea
it ever
that
been?
he's living in a car,
Right.
it only goes to show that that's more of that's
Even more to the point, right?
yeah, you know.
Yeah,
like-
and I guess what I'm saying is like, just whatever that was, that moment in time derailed that. It was like,
but it was.
it happened to be
He didn't
was at the
derail it.
fucking-
He didn't derail it. It was a bunch of suits that derailed it.
Sure, but he happened to be at the head of all that, you know, like and that he was that moment. That was the moment that's defining is that moment, you know, like whoever the hell did it, but whatever happened right there, it derailed the suits, whoever it just changed like constantly. You were barraged. Like if I watched, which I did a lot, I watched a lot of MTV when I was a little kid, and I couldn't believe when I saw Nirvana on TV because I was like they don't even have leather chaps. What the fuck? This isn't a rock band. Where's this fucking, you know, like that can't be a rock band. This is ridiculous.
MTV started to diversify.
It's exactly it. It's like it paved that little road for like, you know, Green
A
Day
man
and all
wearing
the
a
other
dress and,
all
you
the
know.
other bands. That little moment, it was like
Hey, that was Queen.
it felt like a revolution for
Yeah.
little kids like me, you know.
The Beatles were a revolution. Every generation has a revolution musically, but I guess what I'm trying to point out is like it's not a real revolution.
Right.
It's
Somebody
it
sets it up.
suits. It suits.
Yeah,
It's,
I mean, Benny, you told me a story about how Kurt's life as a celebrity and with the success of Nirvana, it became mostly paperwork for him to sign before he can be, you know, an artist.
Right. I mean,
I
don't care.
Creepily enough,
what do you two do? You guys are done, huh? We're done.
Oh,
Let's call it a night.
I got to get some food in this one.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
come on, Robert. You're the host.
Is he?
Pow! Britain's finest coming at you. Okay, so with everything,
Everything said, every racist, sexist thing said tonight about Beyonce.
yeah.
Just go ahead and email Ruben at rubenamaya loves@gmail.com.
That's perfect.
Nice timing. So recap. This is we're back on the podcast, which is cool. So we got some, new stuff coming. We got the live streaming stuff, which is going to be cool. And
Do we have a date for that?
probably the next. Well, we did one last week, so maybe next week or something like that.
Yeah.
But we'll come up with 5 songs to do, and and have some fun.
Yeah. Do we have like a request?
I mean, yeah, you can send your request. Doesn't mean we'll do them.
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't mean we're talented enough to figure them out, but
Exactly. I mean, unless you're picking something that we have to do tracks for. I mean, we have tracks, I guess.
we'll make tracks one note at a time until it sounds right.
Well, yeah. Well, thanks again for everybody who tuned in today. Whenever you're tuning in, and also everybody who showed up last Wednesday night to catch us in that impromptu test.
Awesome.
Was that
awesome.
Wednesday?
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
last Wednesday.
Oh shit.
And,
My name is Benny, by the way, for the beginning of this podcast.
Good
All
job.
Yeah.
And I'm Luis.
Blew that on the beginning.
I am
Robert.
Ruben.
Are you?
Yeah.
He's rubbing.
He's roofing.
Who am I today?
You're roofing.
I'm Ruben today.
You be roofing your friend. Well, thank you.
All right.
Ruben.
Thank you, and God bless.